Hello everyone, today we will recap a romantic movie titled The Maid, in which a teenager takes advantage of his maid and embraces her on a regular basis. Spoilers ahead, keep an eye out, and enjoy the recap. Jake is a 17-year-old teenager who has traveled to England from America to spend time with his father. When Jake arrives at England, he meets his father, David. David shows Jack his room, but Jack is unhappy with it and compares it to a prison cell. When David overhears this, he asks Jack why he hates him so much but gets no response. David then exits the room, explaining that his connection with his father was terrible because he didn't spend him enough time. Jack lost his mother as soon as he was born and believed that he was to blame for her passing. As soon as David departs, Jack gets a bottle of whiskey out of his suitcase and takes a sip, and then goes down on the bed to fall asleep the following day. While smoking in his room's balcony, he notices a beautiful woman in the garden, since Jack was a teenager with a bull that was always ready to fight. He followed the woman when his father arrived. He introduced Maria to Jack and assured him that she would take care of him. Then Jack goes outside with his camera to take some pictures because he liked taking pictures when he gets home. He runs into Maria again. Meanwhile, Jack starts to feel more cared for, as Maria starts to cook for him and give him drinks, and they even commence to talk with each other when Maria asks how long he intends to stay. Jack replies that he will only be there for a few days since he is not close to his father. Then Maria tells Jack that he should be more attached to his mother than his father, which infuriates Jack and causes him to leave right away when Maria returns. She apologizes for what she had earlier said, but Jack ignores her later that day. Maria comes to say goodbye, but Jack calls her back and apologizes for his earlier behavior. He then tells Maria that his mother passed away during his birth, and Maria expresses her sympathy. Jack then explains that his mother divorced his father before he was born, and that his father then married his stepmother. Jack doesn't like his stepmom at all, and for this reason, Jack remains very angry with his father. The next day, Jack gets his camera and heads out for an outing. While he was out, he encounters an attractive girl who wants to talk to Jack because she wants to embrace him. Maria subsequently passes. Part ways, Jack's father then invites him to dinner. But Jack gets mad and storms out. Maria comes to convince him, but Jack had a plan to spend the night with her because he is leaving for America. Soon Maria promises to spend the next day night with him. She also asked him to sort things out with his father. Jack agrees with her and goes to see his father late at night. Jack accuses his father for not giving him enough time and of not loving his mother. His father tells him that he loves him very much and that his marriage was specifically for Jack. Jack realizes his dad and spends the night with his father. Then Jack falls asleep there the next day. When Maria gets to work, Jack greets her and tells her that he would like to spend every moment of the day with her. They then go to the park, and then Maria takes Jack to her house for a kiss and a cuddle. Jack then tells Maria that he feels this is like a dream, with which he's going to clap someone for the first time. They have fun together. But Maria breaks down in the middle of clapping because she misses her son. Then Maria admits to Jack that she didn't tell him the truth about her son. She tells him that she looked for her child, but she came to know that her son was killed in a road accident. Upon hearing that Jack caresses her, he expresses his sympathy for her, and both of them again commit to embracing each other. Maria continues by saying that she hasn't felt this much happy in a while, and that she usually ended relationships with her ex-boyfriends who spoke about getting married because she feared of starting having a child again. After that, Jack tells her she can't go on like this and that. Her tragedy will make her a better mother. Then they rekindle their hug. Then Jack visits his father at home and has a nice conversation with him. The following day, before leaving, Jack kisses Maria goodbye in their home. Then Jack leaves for America. Maria also visits her mother and tells her she is expecting a child in the movie's final scene. We see a joyful Maria carrying Jack's child. So this is the end of the movie. The Mate released in 2014. Thanks for watching the video. News: unfortunately, the editor once again wants to give the story to another reporter. So George snaps and demands an explanation. It turns out the lord that owns the newspaper has blacklisted George because his name now equals a lack of traditional values. Furious, George decides to quit afterward. He goes to see his wife to beg her to sign the divorce papers, pointing out they were never happy together. But the woman refuses, saying she won't allow anyone to have George's revenge for the shame he brought to her back in the forest. Now lots of people have arrived to help dig out the sphere. When Ogilvy touches it with his trowel, the ground suddenly shakes and the meteor begins to expand. its top layer slowly cracking open. At that moment, the royal astronomer Stent arrives with his own team and a bunch of policemen to take charge of the site. Soon a whole curious crowd gathers around the excavation, and George arrives looking for Amy. The sphere suddenly begins grumbling, and Opalvi notices a clockwork ticking sound coming from it. The cracks on the sphere surface finish breaking, and the brown cocoon comes off, exposing a slick black surface beneath. Stent comes closer to touching the object, which leaves a layer of thick black oil on his hand. His reflection is still there when he moves back, only for it to go away when the sphere begins spinning and raises high in the air. At that moment, Stent's arm suddenly catches on fire, and as the sphere spins faster, people around it begin bursting into flames. Terrified, everyone runs away in panic, not noticing